Welcome once again to the series of video webinars we are conducting with our associates here at Ontario Hypnosis Centre. I'd just like to take a moment to introduce you to one of the newer members of our team, Robyn Gibb. Robyn joined us this year in 2012, and she's been a student of the clinic since 2010, I believe, right? Of the school, I should say, not the clinic. And has taken the basic certification, her master's level certification, and has a lot of other trainings which we'll actually be speaking about in this interview. Her primary focus, having started with us, is using Reiki to help clients overcome personal blocks, obstacles, and using Reiki as sort of an addendum to the hypnosis we do in the clinic, and vice versa. So, Robyn, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and maybe just saying a few words about yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Robyn Gibb, and I am a Reiki master as well as a consulting master hypnotist. And I started getting interested in Reiki a few years back. Energy work is something that I find comes naturally, and I started doing energy work a few years ago without even realizing exactly what I was doing until I spoke to a friend of mine who had had some training.
Great.
And she explained to me that what I was doing and what Reiki was, and recommended that I go and get the proper training for it.
Great.
So what I had been doing before was working with light energy and healing colors, but I was actually giving my personal energy to feel.
Okay. And you have since learned.
I have since learned that that is a no-no.
Great.
So then I went and got the proper training, and I just found that it's something that just feels right, and I absolutely love it.
It's almost as if you're answering like a calling from your soul.
Yes, I would agree with that, definitely.
So was Barb Keshin the first person you trained with?
Yes, I went and actually had my first Reiki treatment with her to see what it was like.
She's lovely, isn't she?
She's amazing, yeah, and I felt wonderful coming out of it, and I realized that I definitely wanted to pursue it, and so I went and did my level 1 and 2 with her, and worked with level 2 for a while, and realized that there was so much that could be done with that, but I did want to take it to the next step.
Excellent.
So I decided to take my master's in teaching training.
Great.
And so I look forward to teaching Reiki one day in the future.
And I was a guinea pig, by the way. It's phenomenal. It's so incredible the way Robyn is able to kind of connect with your energy and move it around in the way that's more appropriate, or most appropriate for you, I should say, and always very much in tune with what's for your highest good. So that kind of leads me to want to ask, what is your philosophy when it comes to doing this kind of work?
When it comes to any type of healing work, whether it's Reiki or hypnosis or something like craniosacral, which is another modality that I'm interested in as well, it's mostly helping the client to get to where they need to go. There's no agenda coming from my side. All I want to do is help them to reach their potential. So with Reiki, for instance, when I work with this type of energy, it has an intelligence of its own, and it works with the person, the client, and their personal energy, and what is in their highest good, whatever it is that needs to be rebalanced or shaped or healed. I let that energy do its work. At the same time, I like to connect with the client's energy to see if there's anything that their energy wishes me to know, so that I can direct the Reiki energy in a way that's appropriate for them.
And having been a guinea pig, I can from first-hand experience say that it's incredible how you seem to be able to tune into what the person is experiencing, and to know just how to direct the session, and even be able to intuit what I'm experiencing on the table as you're working on me, seeing some of the things that I'm seeing in my head but not saying anything to you.
Yeah.
And then you say, so did you see this? And I thought, how did you know that? So could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. It's one of the amazing phenomena of this type of work where throughout the session, one of my gifts is I'm able to perceive and see what's going on inside of the client, if I'm meant to see it.
Yeah.
And what type of energy is flowing, where there might be blockages, or if there's certain things the client is experiencing, certain sensations or feelings, or things sometimes clients might have a vision while the session is happening, much like when you go into trance state with hypnosis and you can see things in your mind. And so what happens sometimes is when I'm connecting with the client, often I will perceive something very similar to what the client is experiencing, and it's really amazing. I love post-Reiki discussion because I'll say, this is what I saw, this is what I felt. I'm just curious what you experienced, and it's so amazing when the client says, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so weird because I saw something similar, or I felt that too," and it's so validating,
Yes.
and it just is evidence right there that what you were experiencing is actually happening, because you both were
That
at
it's
the same
real.
time. It's real.
Yeah.
It's very real.
My own experiences with this kind of treatment and having you connect and kind of discover where those blocks are that I kind of sort of knew was there, but really couldn't connect with it myself. And it was for that reason that I started referring clients to you who are coming in for the metaphysical work, so past life, life between lives, but there's something that's kind of stopping them from being able to get into that level, that depth of trance, or even they're getting information, but suddenly there's a block that's coming up. And we know that when you're in the hypnotic state, it's very vivid, like you see colors or textures or images. And so when people are in that state and they're getting nothing, it's completely black, it's highly unusual. So it's indicative usually that there's something energetic that needs to be done. And so that's why I started sending clients to you. So could you tell me a little bit more about how Reiki works, not only with the body, but with the energy fields as well?
Absolutely. Well, with the body, it helps to, with healing physical things. The Reiki energy works with the body's natural healing abilities, and it boosts your body's ability to heal itself.
Great.
Similar to the energy field. If we have blockages within the chakra system or within our aura system around us, the Reiki energy works to release the cause of the blockages. It works to heal the damage, if there's damage that has been done, and just rebalance everything. So often too, if you have something going on physically, it's connected to your energetic system.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's connected to your mind, it's connected to your
All
emotions.
connected.
Everything is interconnected.
Yeah.
So if one thing is off, it makes sense that other things are going to be affected as well.
Absolutely.
And in finding out where the source of the problem is, you often end up at a place that totally different from where you started sometimes when you're working with somebody.
Yeah.
Because they'll come and they'll have a complaint about, this is what's making me uncomfortable, this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I want to change. And sometimes it is exactly what they say, but other times
Something entirely
it's completely different. And it's been affected by another blockage or something that has been thrown off kilter, and so it's very interesting how you make those connections and how it works with the healing process.
And I think it requires a remarkable amount of awareness, of being able to get so in touch with your clients that you're able to perceive these very subtle shifts and changes that enable you to do the kind of work that you do. So it's really great that you can kind of be so focused on the client. I mean, it's not often that we are able to have someone so in tune with what we need that even that in of itself can be quite healing, you know, to have someone there
Thank
for
you.
you and to recognize, you know.
Thank you.
Can you tell me about maybe one case that you worked on that was fascinating to you and kind of stood out in your mind?
Oh my goodness. Well, I did have one of my clients here that I worked with, and she came in with wanting to just feel more balanced, and she explained that she was going through something with her sisters and wanted to see what Reiki was all about, just to help her move on with the next step of her life. And so when I was working on her, I found that there was just so much going on beneath the surface. And the things that I saw were pretty incredible. And it's just all the different types of energies that I was working with, that she was associated with.
Yes.
It was very magical.
And
in
quite
a lot of
profound
ways.
too. I think I know who you're talking about. So can you tell me some of the techniques you use?
Absolutely. Every client is different, so
Yes.
every session is unique and requires its own, own specific attention. But some of the techniques that I generally use and that I would like to, that I would definitely stress in teaching one day to my future students. One where I start at the crown chakra at the top of the head, towards the beginning of the session, where I look inside the client through the crown, and I look through the entire system, physical, energetic, and I look to see where the problem areas are. What stands out the most in terms of cleansing. And I call it my rapid clean out process that I do.
Okay.
And how it works is through the system. Reiki, you work with your hands, and so what I do is I determine where the problem areas are, and then I send the Reiki energy in with one hand to collect the energy that needs to be released from the client, and I have it contained within the Reiki energy, so almost like cleaning it out and having it contained within the Reiki, and I take it out of them.
Great.
And I convert the negative into positive and send it off, release it into the universe.
Brilliant.
And then I fill the areas where that energy came from with Reiki, and I seal it in so that wherever any negative energy was, it's now replaced with healing energy to help repair anything that needs repairing and to just rebalance those areas. So that's something that I find is very effective, especially if times when I'm not doing Reiki in a professional setting, if I'm helping family or friends and I don't have a lot of time, I find that technique is very good, quick fix almost.
Gives you a lot of energy too, so I must
Yeah.
say it kind of helps you to feel like you just had one of those, what's it called, those energy drinks?
So that's
good.
one technique that I find is a staple, and it helps at the beginning of a session just to get me in tune with areas that need more attention after I do that technique. Like I'll go down the system after and work specifically at each spot, but I find that's a really good one. And also, I really work a lot with, towards the end of the session, with rebalancing all the work that I've done within that hour, and just kind of connecting the energy that was put into each chakra, into each part of the body, and weaving it together so that it's
So integrated very nicely.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
lovely.
Thank you.
I mean, I couldn't put into words the kind of experience you have, or I had when I was on the table. And I'm not a very visual person. I will, I've said that several times. But Reiki is one of the times when I'm receiving Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the times when I see things so clearly, and I described a few things to you, which you then said we talked about your seeing, and it was so
Yes.
incredible to have someone kind of validate what you're seeing, but not sure if you're making it up.
Right.
But then when you're objectively saying, so I saw this, this, and this, it kind of makes it real to you that you're having this
Absolutely.
experience. So that's
Definitely.
so great. Which makes me want to ask,
Yes.
how do you connect so well with your clients? Is there anything that you do that kind of
Yeah.
fosters that connection?
Well, one thing, there's a fine balancing act that I have to do when doing this type of work, because first of all, one of the fundamentals that you learn when you're practicing Reiki is that you are not giving your personal energy to the client, and you are not receiving their personal energy. So I have to set a strong intention when I'm working with someone that the only transference of energy that occurs is 100% Reiki through me to the client.
Great.
So that's established, but at the same time, I also connect with the client, not by sending and receiving personal energy, but by my higher self connecting with the client's higher self for communication purposes. Because I believe that the way it works is when I'm doing Reiki, my higher self is very much at the forefront, and I'm able to use that to receive information. And I communicate with the client's higher self in order for them to tell me what they need help with.
Yeah.
So that's how it works, and it's more of when I need to know something, it's there. So if I need to see something, I'll see it. I'm sure I don't see everything that's going on with the client.
Absolutely.
Because there's things that are meant to stay personal or that don't need attention at the time.
Yeah.
So the things that do require attention will make themselves known in that way.
And some things the clients have to go through themselves.
That's right.
For their own growth.
That's
for
right.
their own higher good. So.
I cannot fix everything. Well, I'm not even fixing it.
anything.
It's not even me that's doing it, but I'm assisting. But one thing that people need to understand is that it's not going to be a cure for everything that they're going through. There's certain things that they might need to experience, but what the Reiki can help them do is to experience it in a more positive and healthy, balanced way.
Yeah. So they're not overwhelmed
That's
by whatever
right.
is happening.
That's right.
Absolutely. I remember when you were taking the master's class, I forget who it was, but one of the students said you were like her healing angel in that class because you were able to help her, work through what was coming up, because there's a lot of stuff that comes up in that course. But
Yeah.
you use the Reiki as well, I think, to help
Yes.
calm.
I find that it definitely is a very calming experience. I often use it if I'm having trouble going to sleep at night.
Oh yeah.
It's so relaxing. And that's one thing too about doing the type of work I do is I do self-Reiki every day as best I can. It helps to keep me balanced.
Yeah. I mean, you live life according to those values that you tell your clients, right?
You have to, or else, if you don't live by it, then it's not genuine.
Yeah. And so you studied your Reiki before you took the hypnosis course.
Yes,
How
I
did
did.
you find yourself transitioning from Reiki to hypnosis? How does it fit?
Well, my interest in hypnosis originally, I'm working towards doing a master's in counseling psychology to become a counselor. And so I thought, I was doing the Reiki, and then I was thinking, what else can I learn that could assist with counseling? And I started reading about hypnosis, and I thought this would be an amazing tool to add to my repertoire. And so I wanted to take the initial certification here, and do Reiki and hypnosis at the same time alongside. And as I started learning more about hypnosis and the different techniques that are used with it, I thought, oh wow, you know, these two modalities really fit together well. Because often with hypnosis there's so much energetic work that's happening too.
Yeah.
And I mean, just even the fundamentals, hypnosis is about change. And change can be a scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Change can be exciting, change can be terrifying. It can be many different things, and there's so many different emotions that come up with change, right?
Absolutely.
And so, when people go through transitions, they can be off balance. And so if someone's receiving Reiki alongside of doing hypnosis work, it can make that shift so much more comfortable and positive.
Absolutely. So this led to us doing a little bit of work together and kind of coming up with a hypnosis Reiki combination, and we're still working on it, and it's very exciting. Very exciting. I've been a guinea pig for that as well too, and Robyn has also kind of done the Reiki on herself as I took her through this hypnotic process. That was
very intense, but it was. I'm very glad that we did it because it's something that is so powerful. I mean, when you think about it, when you have any type of combined treatment, any type of therapy that combines things, you're getting the best of both, right?
Absolutely. And
so, in some ways, it's more powerful than one of the modalities on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it allows for so much more growth and healing, I believe, if someone is to do a session with a hypno-Reiki session.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, the experience that I had working with you where I was doing Reiki on myself while you were conducting the hypnosis session, I've noticed changes since then.
Great.
And I'm very, very glad that we did that. And I'm very excited about tweaking that technique and then offering it to other people.
Yeah.
And seeing the possibilities that can come from it, and just the potential of this type of treatment is really limitless. It
opens up a whole new world of possibilities in terms of how you can work and what you can do using one or both of these modalities, either separately or together. And this was something I had in mind, 2 years ago that I kind of started working on, and then I had to put off a little bit. And I believe things happen for a reason. So I feel, when you connected with us and you said you were ready to start doing, because I'd asked you before.
Yes, that's right. I wasn't quite ready yet.
But that's a good thing, I like when people recognize, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Because it shows that their integrity in terms of their work is fully present. And so when you said, I'm not ready yet, but I'll let you know, I thought, okay, great. And then when you said, I'm ready, and here I was now kind of coming back to it, I thought, perfect timing.
Absolutely.
So, here we are, still working, trying to make it, better than we even think it could possibly be. What are your hopes then?
For Hypno-Reiki?
Yeah.
Oh, what I'm hoping is to be able to use this type of technique and just develop it. I feel that where we are with it right now is great, but it could be incredible.
Yes.
I feel like there's incredible potential for this, and I know that it's going to come out after working with more people who want to give it a try.
Yeah.
After seeing what type of experiences people have with it and the kind of growth that can come from that, only through that will we be able to know exactly what we can do with it. And I hope in the future to be able to teach this type of
I can see that already there, so I'm not worried about that. So we'll leave it here for now.
Okay.
We're absolutely going to be doing another one of these chats.
Great.
Again, we'll focus more on sort of the hypno-Reiki aspect.
Yes.
So we're talking more about what you are really good at. And we're going to talk about some of these little guys that we have on the table here, the gems and stones and other powerful natural tools you use in the work you do.
They're my assistants.
There you go. So I do hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you have further questions for Robyn, please send us an email, info@ontariohypnosiscentre.com, or you can send one directly to Robyn at her email address, Robyn, ROBYN, @ontariohypnosiscentre.com. We're happy to respond via email, or we can maybe answer your question on video. And do tune in for the next discussion I have with Robyn about the amazing work she's doing and the tools we're further developing with hypnosis and Reiki combined. Thank you for joining us. Any questions, do reach us at www.ontariohypnosiscentre.com, or you can call us at 416-489-0333, or international calls at 1-866-479-9764. Thank you again. Thanks, Robyn.
Thank you.